And then honestly, I think it was the right move from him to probably like just let me be on my own. And I don't want to say the way I wanted to say, but he really upset me, and I was really really stressed and angry on him, and that really helped me to pull out such tennis.
During a game, Aryna Sabalenka just kicked her coach out of her box, blamed him for her issues, acknowledged that she had gone too far, and then destroyed her opponent. After an outburst like that, most athletes would fall apart. Apparently, nothing says, "I'm winning this," quite like publicly humiliating your own squad, so she converted that into gasoline. Have you ever been so irritated that you caused awkwardness for everyone around you, only to succeed in the end? Tell me in the comments. This is what transpired. At the WTA Finals, Aryna Sabalenka was playing Jessica Pegula, and things were getting messy. Not only is tennis dirty, but it's also emotionally erratic. It's messy to yell at your coach in front of thousands of people. The craziest part is that it did work.
You two bring the best out of each other, and sometimes the worst also.
Yeah, you know, I really enjoy playing her, and she always pushed me to the next level, and I felt like today was exchange of unreal tennis from both. You know, in the first set I played, I don't know what I did there, honestly. Like, some of the points were just wow. And then in the second set, she turned it around and she were able to like play that tennis. And then in the third set, I was like, you know what? Okay, I have nothing else to do than just step in and then try to play even more aggressive and put that pressure back on her and hope for the best.
Now let's set the scenario. Sabalenka is playing uncontrollably in the first set. Pegula seemed to have accidentally stumbled onto the court as she hits shots from unimaginable angles. Even Sabalenka was unable to describe what she was doing. Her precise words were, "I don't know what I did there, honestly." Which, after winning a set against one of the world's best players, is rather amazing. It's similar to doing well on a test you neglected to prepare for, but you'll be paid millions of dollars and the test will be aired worldwide. However, everything abruptly changes when the second set takes place. Pegula discovers something, modifies her strategy, and begins to dominate. It is Sabalenka who is now scurrying about the court as if she has forgotten how tennis is played. The majority of players would worry, tighten up, or perhaps start playing it safe at this point, which is where things become interesting. Not Sabalenka. She concluded that becoming more irate and combative was the answer. But not at herself, but rather at her coach, Anton.
Third set, I don't blame you. You got to get a little bit of that frustration out, but how did that change the momentum of the match?
Well, yeah, maybe I went a little bit too much on Anton. We're gonna probably, if he's still here, we're gonna talk, but I don't know whether he is. But yeah, I went a bit too much. I was so frustrated inside of me, and I was just like trying to let it go. Probably I went too far, not probably I went too far. And then honestly, I think it was the right move from him to probably like just let me be on my own. And I don't want to say the way I wanted to say, but he really upset me, and I was really really stressed and angry on him, and that really helped me to pull out such tennis.
Now sitting in the third set of a pivotal match, Sabalenka looked up at Anton Dubrow, who has been working with her for years, through many Grand Slam finals, wins and losses, and all the highs and lows of her career. The guy knows what he's doing. From the court, she began to yell at him. Not quiet mumbling, not covert annoyance. Absolutely. This altercation is visible to everyone in the stadium. The problem with Sabalenka is as follows. She doesn't take any action in the middle. She screams with delight when she's happy. Everyone can tell when she's upset. She therefore went all in when she became enraged at Anton. Later on, she acknowledged that she overindulged in Anton. Not probably, she amended herself. I went too far, she admitted, which is both hilarious and refreshingly honest given that she said it immediately after winning the match. To owe his credit, Anton handled it expertly. He simply walked away rather than arguing back or attempting to dissuade her from the box. To be honest, it was a power move to simply walk away. Allowing someone to work through a breakdown on their own is sometimes the best course of action. And that's precisely what took place. Sabalenka was abandoned in her crate. There was just her and her frustration. No coach, no direction. And in some way, this turned out to be just what she needed. She stated it herself. I was able to play such tennis because to it. She was so furious and enraged at the quarrel that she put all of her feelings into her game. She began taking more chances, coming into the court more frequently, and hitting the ball harder. It's essentially her signature style of aggressive, fearless tennis. However, let's discuss the real situation here, because this is more than simply an amusing tale about a tennis meltdown. This relates to how some athletes require confrontation in order to perform. Not everyone operates in the same manner. Certain gamers require situations that are peaceful and encouraging. They require positive reinforcement and gentle support. Then there are players like Sabalenka who seem to need to cause a small PR fiasco in order to play their best tennis. It doesn't make sense. From the standpoint of conventional sports psychology, it doesn't make sense, but it worked. She had one of the most interesting post-match interviews of the year, won the game, and remained undefeated in the tournament. Renee Stubbs, the interviewer and former player herself, understood everything. She continued, "As a player, I can completely understand that because anyone who's competed at a high level knows that sometimes you need to let the frustration out, even if it's directed at the wrong person." The bottom line, which is obviously untrue but precisely what every athlete wants to hear, is that Stubbs, even those thrown in by players, are always correct. The way Sabalenka discussed her friendship with Pegula is intriguing. She remarked that they sometimes bring out the worst in each other, which is exactly what transpired. Both players characterized the encounter as an exchange of incredible tennis. These two athletes challenge one another to heights that they might not be able to achieve against anyone else on the court. They are attempting to destroy one another in a way that benefits both of them. It wasn't simply one player controlling this game. The momentum was swinging madly, back and forth. Sabalenka wins the first set, Pegula wins the second, and the third set turns into a contest to see who can withstand more pressure. And it seems that the person who recently fired their coach has the solution. Sabalenka's explanation of her third set strategy is flawless. "All I can do is intervene, try to play even more aggressively, put that pressure back on her, and hope for the best. That's all. That's the whole plan. Strike the ball with more force and pray for success. Just unadulterated aggression and hope, without intricate strategies or cautious positioning." And it did, of course, so it was successful. Let's now deal with the big issue. Was it appropriate for her to scream at Anton? Not at all. She acknowledged it several times. But should coaches be aware that during competition, athletes can be emotional, agitated, and even irrational? Yes, as well. Anton made the decision to depart rather than escalate the issue because he was well aware of this. The way Sabalenka discussed the entire issue was refreshingly honest. She didn't make an effort to minimize it or act as though it never happened. She didn't respond with a corporate, "we've moved past," or heat of the moment response. "I went too far," she stated bluntly. And then quickly changed the topic to how it contributed to her victory. Don't make up an apology. No pretending to be someone she isn't. This contributes to the popularity of Sabalenka. She is sincere. You can tell when she's happy. Everyone can tell when she's sad. In front of 10,000 people and a television audience, she will express her frustration with her coach. It's real even though it's not always attractive. The entire situation also calls into question the connection between tennis coaches and players. Tennis coaches are seated in the box and are unable to speak during play, in contrast to team sports where coaches are always on the sidelines. Only during changeovers are they able to converse, and even then, it's not very much. It must be quite annoying for the coach to have to see a player struggle. From Anton's point of view, his player is having difficulty. When he is unable to assist, she begins to hold him accountable. He could have made a major scene, became defensive, or attempted to gesture back. Rather, he distanced himself from the matter and let her to resolve it. It requires a great deal of self-control and knowledge of your athlete. It's also noteworthy that Sabalenka was able to make good use of his rage. Many athletes lose it when they become enraged. They begin to make unintentional mistakes, become distracted, and allow their emotions to control their performance. Sabalenka took the opposite action. She transformed all of that bad energy into aggressive, self-assured tennis. Even though it isn't covered in sports psychology courses, that is a skill. It's hilarious that Sabalenka said she'll probably talk to Anton if he's still here after the game, because where would he go? At the WTA finals, he is actually her coach. However, it indicates that she is aware that she must deal with what transpired. The partnership is still intact. It's only tennis. Feelings are intense. People move on once things are uttered. The way she discussed her strategy for the competition is very fascinating. She stated that she must win 5 games in order to receive the trophy, which is merely a statement of the facts, but her tone was one of intense concentration. Nothing to celebrate this victory. Don't focus on the drama. Let's go on to the next. That is the mindset of someone who has achieved success and understands what it takes to maintain it. After everything that transpired, the line about trying to play a little bit cleaner tennis is almost comical. For example, you might want to avoid publicly arguing with your coach during your next game. That would most likely qualify as cleaner tennis. However, it also demonstrates that she is self-aware enough to understand that, even though the chaos worked this time, it is not a long-term plan. Giving your team a small portion of the business, as Renee Stubb put it, is a really tactful way of indicating that you totally lost it on your coach. She then brings up the vacation remark, since it seems like Sabalenka made a joke about vacations in a prior interview. The woman has priorities, and it seems that organizing a vacation is just as important as winning tennis matches and openly clashing with her coaching staff. It's also important to consider the relationship between Sabalenka and Pagula. These two players know each other's games inside and out because they have faced each other numerous times. Respect is present, but there is also intense rivalry. Even though Sabalenka was playing fantastic tennis in the opening set, Peg refused to give up. She made it a true fight by adjusting and coming back hard in the second. Champions act in this manner. The events of this game essentially sum up Aryna Sabalenka's personality as a player. She is strong, sensitive, erratic, and manages to turn turmoil to her advantage. She'll go from having no idea how to play tennis to having trouble, firing her instructor out of the blue, and then winning the game. Just watching is draining.